do you want to start by introducing yourself to those that are watching?
Yeah, so my name is Jake Sylvester. I number 29 for the Romford Raiders, and I've played for the Raiders. This is my ninth season.
How did you get into ice hockey? What started that for you?
For me, it was so my uncle played. He started a learn to play program when the Chelmsford Ice Rink first opened. I think he was about 11 years old when he started. So I was just naturally brought into it when I was a kid. Got on the ice when I was about 4 years old, and haven't really looked back since.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's when you say it like that, it's a long time, a very long time, but enjoyed
Jack,
every
men-
minute of it.
Jack mentioned how
Yeah.
he gets a shock when the ones that are coming in, the youngsters now, are as old as he's been playing hockey for.
it. I think the worst ones are when you listen to their birth year, and some of them now are getting really bad. It's like,
There's a couple 2007s, isn't there?
yeah, and you're like, oh, I was in school, and you're playing on the same team as me, and I was in school when you were born. Yeah, it's quite bad.
Yeah, no, I do sort of look at some of them. I mean, I'm a 2002, but I look at
Mm,
some of them, anything after that, I'm like, wow, how are you playing?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, my sister's 2000, so anything after that is a little bit like you're you're really young, but
As a
it creeps
2000
up.
baby, I agree.
Yeah, it really does creep up on you. I mean, me, Coops, and some of the older boys, Dewey and that, like Leish is the same birth year as me, so it's all a bit. We look around sometimes, we're like, we are the old ones now. Like it's somehow it's crept up on us, but we are the old ones in the team now.
You
But
was that little
Uh,
16-year-old once
yeah,
going
yeah,
into
yeah.
seniors.
yeah. Many years ago, yeah.
Hmm. At the start of the season, it was announced that you've signed a 2-year contract with Romford.
Yeah.
What made you decide that was the right decision for you?
Um, I mean, not very difficult decision. This club's been part of my life for a long time. And I didn't see myself playing anywhere else, so it really wasn't a hard decision for me. Obviously, I'd never been offered the 2-year deal before, but it was given to me, and I was thought, well, I know I'm going to want to be here for the next 2 years, so I'm happy to sign that deal.
They don't come around often, do they?
No,
Multiple
no,
years.
no. Obviously, it's a big commitment. It's a lot to take for a big season like this. We've got a lot of games. We train twice a week. Every team does, but it is a big commitment. So obviously, I did have to think a little bit about it just in terms of committing for 2 years. But no, I mean the organisation's great. The owners are great. The guys in the room I've known for so long. But yeah, really not a hard decision to want to play back in Romford again.
Love that. Thank God. So next year is your testimonial year.
Yeah.
How does it feel to have been putting on a Romford jersey for nearly 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really think about it when you're doing it. Um, and you don't really have the time to reflect on it either. I think, as I say, the seasons are so long and you go from game to game, from training to training with very little break that you don't really think about it too much. But, you know, obviously experiencing Coops' testimonial last year and definitely thinking about mine next year, it's a real honour to pull that jersey on every night. Um, I grew up watching my uncle played for the Raiders. I've watched many great Raiders players and teams, and when we were kids, it was this is where we want to be. This is who we want to play for. It was those teams are the ones that you wanted to be a part of. Um, so yeah, it's just a real honour to put that jersey on every night, and especially now that we've been able to adopt the Romford name again. It's really brought it back to the full circle. So yeah, it's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Have you
definitely.
have you started planning your testimonial yet? Know what you're
I've
going
I've
in.
put a few feelers out to Baz. He hasn't come back to me yet, but we'll definitely be planning some things. Obviously it's been quite nice for me because again, Coops has had his, so I've been able to sort of lean on him a little bit, speak to him, and learn from his and what he did, and try to hopefully make mine as good, if not a little bit better. But yeah, hopefully that'll be a good game.
It
It'd be
will.
a
I'm
big year in
excited.
Romford next year
Yeah, it will be.
with the double testimonial with you and
Mm,
Brandon.
yeah,
Jake v Brandon.
there'll have to be a lot of events and marketing, and we'll have to we'll have to make two good teams so that people want to come and watch it.
Oh, they will.
People will be there anyway because you're loyal players and they love watching you play. Talking about play, how would you describe your playing style?
My style is a little different, not usually, you know, um, linked with the way that the Raiders play, maybe. I think, generally over the years, the Raiders have been known as that real gritty fight to the end, a lot of hard effort. Whereas I think I'm a little bit more thought out, a little bit more. I've got a heavy shot. Make the good first pass, but I'm not so much, 100% in every corner all the time without thinking about things. Um, I've definitely grown over the years into a bit more of an experienced player. Noticing, as we were talking about earlier, with the youngsters coming through, you realise that you needed that help when you came in, and you're now learning, and you're able to give that advice to the youngsters. Um, and it's really the little things in the game that I don't think you sort of thought about as a fan. Um, just being able to control the park, make the first pass, do the little things right that people don't really notice. But yeah, for me, it's always been about my shot and being able to produce offensively. Um, I think the last few years I've taken on a bit more of a role in the defensive zone. Being able to, last year I was relied upon a few more times in bigger situations to be on the ice at the end of games to see games out, and it's definitely something I wanted to add. So I'm glad I have. But hopefully we can build progress on that as well.
You have definitely got a wicked shot.
Yeah, not often you miss.
I try not to, but I definitely do.
Doesn't happen often.
Normally one of the ones where you go, how did that even go in? Like that wouldn't have got in for anyone else.
Um,
Uh, what do you think has been your biggest improvement this season?
this season, I think it's been a bit of a difficult year. I think with the rough starts that we had, and with obviously the big change coming, I think it was just general leadership in the change room. Coops was a big part of that as well. Obviously, Dewey was, and Millsy before he left. But it was just trying to get through to the guys that we're doing this for a reason. It's not that we're doing it out of spite for people or anything. It's to try and make this hockey club better and try and get us into a winning position, because ultimately that's what we all want to do, right? It's we all play hockey for the love of the game and we all want to succeed. So it was, yeah, taking on that bit more of a leadership role and just trying to settle everyone and helping the guys in the room.
I like that. I like that. What's one piece of coaching advice that you've received over the years that has stuck with you during your career?
That is a very difficult one because there is a lot. Um, I've been with Sean for, oh blimey, so many years now. Um, I'd forget half the stuff he told me. Um, but the game's changing quite a bit, and I think that like one of the bits of advice I received was when I first started playing chieftains. Danny Hammond there actually gave me a bit of advice: was the first thing you do when you get the puck is move your feet, because if you stop and think about things, the game's going to pass you by. So just, receive the puck and move your feet first, and then your brain will catch up and you'll be able to make the play or the pass. So that was probably one of the things that I sort of passed down as well to other kids as well. So
I
That
like
is,
that.
that is a
I
very
do
good
like that.
bit. Who was your biggest hockey influence growing up?
that would have to be my uncle. Like I said, he got me into hockey. He's the reason that I'm playing it. And I was in the rink from, a week old watching. I say watching. I obviously wasn't watching his games when I was a week old, but I was there. I was there.
You're
Um,
just vibing.
yeah, yeah. But when I was able to watch, I was always there watching him play every weekend. When I got old enough, I'd go out with him on the team bus. I'd go to the change rooms. You little rink rats that we were. It was, yeah, make sure that you were in and around the team as much as you can, and obviously having an uncle that was in the team just made it that little bit easier. So definitely my uncle.
Growing up, was there ever any sibling rivalry with Abby?
Definitely, definitely, always. Not so much on the ice. Obviously, I think there was that gap of, and she started out as a goalie, so there really wasn't at the beginning. Um, but in terms of, seeing what she's done now, I couldn't be more proud. It's not so much of a, oh, she's doing this and she's doing that. It's, we've both been successful in our own way, and it's really good to see how far she's gone.
She's
It's not
killing it.
always easy. And it's not always easy for women in this sport, especially over here. It is a growing sport for us, let alone for the women over here. So yeah, to see what she's been able to do it's really good. But there were definitely rivalries growing up. Many of them off the ice, to be fair.
I love
Wouldn't be
that.
siblings if you didn't,
Well,
right?
exactly. No, no, you wouldn't.
uh, when it comes to games, how do you prepare mentally or physically for a game? Any rituals, superstitions?
Um, they've changed over the years. At the start, it was very much I was young and I was able to just go out and play two touch with the guys and play football and come back and get on the ice. It was very simple. Um, as I've gotten older, I've had knocks and a few injuries and different things, and it's very much become a take your rest, have a good stretch, make sure you're physically there, physically ready. So, I don't try to exert myself too much before games. I make sure I have a good stretch and I'm ready. It's very much a less physical thing nowadays, but yeah, not too much for me. And I've been quite calm, to be fair. I think again, we've been around it so long. I think we're naturally ready for games now. I trust my skill set, so I don't think about it too much. So yeah, I'm not too bad in terms of superstition wise, really. Maybe like the odd, put your kit on the same way, but I think everyone has that anyway. But yeah,
Some
I
people
love
try
that.
to deny it.
yeah,
Mm.
I think you can deny it. I think subconsciously you make those decisions. When you're putting your hockey kit on, or on a game day, people pack their bags in a certain way, in a certain routine. It's subconsciously you have routines, right? Um, I don't know whether it's a superstition, but I always eat like the same sort of thing. But that's just because I think I found what's worked for me rather than a superstition. But yeah,
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
I like that. You're just so chill. You just
yeah,
know you're gonna be good
yeah.
anyway.
Well, I think at the end of the day as well, we have so many games, right? So if you take it too seriously all the time, it doesn't feel, it starts to feels like a job rather than you're here to, obviously we're lucky enough and fortunate enough to get paid for what we do, but at the end of the day, you're still there to have fun. You still have to enjoy what you're doing. I think if you
Definitely.
start taking it too seriously, then I'll end up being a bit more frustrated. Won't play well, and then it'll just be a vicious circle. So you have to be able to
Yeah,
step back and calm yourself down, I think. So yeah.
yeah,
That's a
no,
good mindset
definitely.
to have.
Mm,
Gotta know that you're there for the love of the game.
exactly.
Going back to when you was first asked to wear the A, how did that feel?
Um, yeah, I mean, it's an honour to wear any letter for any team. I felt at the time I was starting to become a bit more of a leader in the room. Um, there's obviously the group for us, we are a bit more vocal in the room and we are a bit more of a voice. So it felt right and it felt like I was ready. But yeah, it's just an honour, to be able to not only pull the shirt on, but to wear an A for the club is obviously an honour for anyone. So yeah, really good.
How do you deal with being the voice for the team to the officials when something happens or goes wrong?
Sometimes I feel all right. Others not so bad. Yeah, I mean, I think you guys see from the stands, right, that there is a lot of frustration sometimes towards the officials. Um, and sometimes it's not only, it's not just, they make a bad call. Like we understand they make a bad call, but it's making sure that they're approachable. There are refs in our league that are approachable. You can go up, you can have a conversation with them, you can just ask them questions. And there are ones that, yeah, you can't really, you try to have a conversation with and they just shoo you away. We don't want to talk to you, we don't want anything to do with you. And it's like, I'm just trying to learn for myself and to
Yeah,
help the team so that we don't make that same mistake again.
yeah,
There are calls that we can't help and that, end up happening and that is what it is. But yeah, it can be difficult sometimes. I definitely don't envy Coops being the main man for that one. So
No,
yeah.
yeah. No, definitely.
I'd get myself in so much trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. We've all done it before and I've done it before. I think it sometimes I'm like I've managed to calm myself down here. I've done really well. Like now we can have a normal conversation. And there are other times where I've got to the box after they've given me a penalty and I'm like, well, I've just lost it there. Like I've got to calm down. But it's hockey. It's an intense sport. It happens.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely. That's why my brother throws me in the box at the under-19 games.
Mm.
In your box, you can't say nothing. You've got to keep fairly neutral.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been in the box with Bill, but Bill's definitely not neutral.
Yeah, no, I tend to do on the 19th, I do the clock. So
Yeah,
you have to be a bit more neutral when you're in the middle box
yeah, yeah.
doing the game sheet and stuff.
Bill said he was neutral when we spoke to him.
Bill can say that, but Bill doesn't mean that.
Nah, I'm pretty good. Only sometimes I get.
It's tough when you've got the penalty and you're like, yeah, that was a bit bad. That was a penalty, and you get in there and Bill's like, that's not a penalty. What was he doing there? You're like, yeah, I don't know, Bill. What was he doing? Have a go at him, Bill.
Oh,
Brilliant.
bless him. He has come in the junior games a couple of times as well and sat in the box for us.
Oh, he loves it.
Yeah,
He loves it.
he does. He
Done.
does. During key moments of the game, do you feel a sense of responsibility? Like if it's like a nil-nil game or you're in a draw or you're trying to
Yeah,
keep the lead?
yeah, I think so. I think obviously, my game is like we said earlier, it is to produce. I'm not here just to put in a small shift and get off the ice. I'm here to produce for the team and make sure that we can succeed where we can. So it is a little bit, again, it's believing in your own game. I do believe that I can help this team and I can do the best I can every time I get on the ice. Um, and it is difficult in those situations when it's not going your way because you're frustrated that oh, I should have buried that chance. I should have maybe that could have been 1-0. That could have been the game. And it is difficult. It is very mental. Um, but one thing I've had a few years where it's you have them spells throughout the year where it's just not going in the net. It's just not happening with you. You're doing everything right. You get the right positions, and it's just not going in. But one thing that Aaron Connolly told me a few years ago was, "You're getting the chances. The only time you need to start worrying is if you're not getting the chances, because then you're doing something wrong."
Absolutely.
So as long as you can carry on playing the same way and making sure that you're getting those chances, then I think we'll be all right.
That
I
is a
love
good
that.
bit of advice.
Yeah,
That
that was a
is.
good bit.
Um, how do you personally reset after games, especially like on a Saturday when you've got to go again the next day? How do you leave it where it was if it didn't go well?
Yeah, I think over the years we've tried different things. Sometimes you get on the bus and you're like, right, everyone, quiet, be quiet, we'll just focus on tomorrow, whatever. But I think it's, like keeping it light to like as a team, it's good that you have another. It's not the end of the season. You've got tomorrow to put it right. Yeah, right. We knew we had a bad game. Yeah, great. Hockey comes and goes. You've got another chance. So it's making sure that the next time you step on the ice that you're doing the right things, but making sure that you're just keeping it light and you're not too focused on it. Because I think if you get too focused, again, like for me, if I get too focused and too stressed out about it, I'll play worse, and then I'll just spiral from there. So I have to make sure I keep it light and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And I think that's the same for quite a few of the guys, because some of the journeys as well, they're so long. If we were to, not to have a bit of fun every now and again, it would become a chore rather than the
Yeah.
fun job that we're meant to be here for. So
You have a
Definitely.
great mindset.
just relaxed.
You're just so chill.
What has been the biggest lesson hockey has taught you?
In terms of a lesson, I don't know. I think there's been a lot over the years. Um, yeah, there's all the team camaraderie and making sure that you're not a one man band, all of that sort of stuff. But I think the main thing that hockey's given me is just the friendships. That it goes beyond the ice, and that you're going to spend your life. There's people I've met playing hockey that I'm going to see probably till I'm about 80. So it's just it's beyond the ice is what it teaches me. It's not everyone gets on the ice and they're so frustrated, and it is. And I get it. I get it. I want to win as well, but it is more than just a game at the end of the day. And yeah, I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I want your mindset for everything. I need to be more chill. That's what I'm learning.
We need to take notes from Jakey and from Max Van Mullen.
Yeah,
Whatever
you
he
two are
takes,
Yeah,
how he's smiley all the time.
you just got to have fun with it. You can't be too serious about things. It's a long season. There's lots of hockey. You have to enjoy it. Otherwise, you won't want to do it.
absolutely.
And that's probably one of the reasons why there's a few of us that have played for so long, because we can have fun and we enjoy what we're doing.
Yeah.
So
All you lads that are like Coops that has had his testimonial, you and Brandon that are coming up to it, you're all so chill and you just have fun still. And
yeah,
that's why you're
yeah, yeah.
10
That's,
years in.
that's the thing. It's very hard. I think you have training sessions. They're at 10 o'clock at night. You say to most people, you go to work the next day and they're like, "Oh, what did you do last night?" I was like, "Well, I got on the ice at 10 o'clock and come home at 1." And they're like, "What?" You're like, "Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I'm with all my friends. I'm having a good time." And if
Yeah,
you didn't, then you're not gonna want to be there, and it's going to be a very, very, very long season if you don't. So yeah,
and very long nights.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What is the dressing room like this season? Is it chill? Is it chaotic?
No, I think it's good. I think we've been quite lucky over the last few years to have a good dressing room. Um, I think you've seen over the last month or two that some guys have come out their shells and the change room's got a lot closer. And like over the last few weeks, I think that's transformed into our game as well. So yeah, it's good to see that the guys are. There are a few guys that you still have to try and just peel out their shell a little more, but yeah, they're definitely coming out, and it is good. It is a good room. All the guys, the imports as well. It's difficult for them because they're coming over. They're thousands of miles away from home. Some of them are, they've never met the other guys before, and it can be tough. But yeah, they're a great group of lads.
How serious is the music topic in the dressing room? We've been told that you're one of the DJs of the group.
Yeah, it depends when you put the music on. Pre-game, it's very sort of similar to very regimental. It's very, I think if you asked anyone the list of songs that come on, they could list them in order. And after every song, they know exactly what's coming next. We've been a bit more lenient though. I think if we've lost, then we switch it up. Someone else has a go. It's not just me; it's everyone. So yeah, we all get a chance, and it's all different genres. If we put someone at training, it could be absolutely anything. It could be anything. Leish likes to get a little go in at training, and Brandon puts some of his on as well, and it is a right mixture. It is a right mixture, but you have to find the balance between not too much like rap and hip hop, and not too much rock, and yeah, it is difficult, but I think the guys enjoy it, so that's all that matters.
What's your go-to genre?
Me, I anything. I grew up listening to all my dad's old 70s, 80s rock. Um, I've listened to all my old grandpa's and granddad's music. That was 60s stuff and 50s stuff. So really anything. And then obviously, growing up in hockey change rooms, you listen to all your newer stuff and absolutely anything. So I don't really have a specific genre. The last few years, obviously, I think country's got a lot bigger. So I think, naturally, I've enjoyed a lot of that as well. So yeah, absolutely anything. I don't have a specific genre really.
I like that.
I
Bit
feel
of
like that's a
everything.
lot of hockey players.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think growing up in hockey, you've listened to a wide range of music. It could be anything. So yeah, yeah, you still probably have a favorite. Like I probably just because I grew up on my dad's music, I'd probably more lean to that. But in general, I could listen to anything.
Yeah.
So you mentioned about people coming out of their shells now and that um, being seen on the ice. How important is the team's chemistry in relation to success on the ice?
Yeah, it's big. I think playing with people who you've played with for a long time or you have a similar style, it's going to benefit you on the ice because you kind of know what they're going to do when they get the puck or what they're thinking about. Um, and that translates on the ice to results. It's not always going to translate because you can do all the right things and it might just not be your night, but it definitely helps. I played with Leish for a few years now. Me and Millsy played a very similar game, so being able to step with those guys was very easy. And like TJ and Ewan have played together for however many years now, and you can see when they get on the ice, they know what each other are doing. So it translates.
Definitely. What makes Romford a tough team to come up against?
Um, I think over the years it's been their effort. Like we're always we don't die. We're never going to just roll over and die on a team. So, making sure that our effort's always there. And sometimes, we have to talk to ourselves. We come in the room, we're like, boys, like, we're not putting in the effort tonight. And that is the minimum that we need. And that is what we're known for. So we need to put that in every night. And that is the thing that makes us so hard to play against, is that we're just not going to quit. Um, and obviously, the fans, that you guys make that building a tough place to come and play in. You know, people don't like to come and play us because they know we're always going to be up for a game in our barn, and we're not going to just let them get the easy win. So, yeah, just effort is the main thing for us.
Absolutely. Do you have any standout moments for you personally or as a team over your last 9 seasons?
Um, I think obviously making it to Coventry, um, that experience for all of us was second to none. I think it was great. Um, and we're trying to work hard to get there again because I think everyone who experienced it just wants to be there again and experience that feeling again. So yeah, I'd have to say that. I've won some leagues at Chelmsford, and I've probably one of my most exciting years was probably one of the first years I was a senior. Because we all sort of came up together. We just finished 18s and we'd gone up to the Warriors and Chieftains, and we'd done pretty well. So yeah, I think that was probably one of the most fun years, but definitely Coventry. And if we can recreate that again, then yeah, we'll do our best to do that.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be the underdogs again.
We don't mind. We're always the underdogs.
That's what
So it
makes
just
it
makes
so
it more,
good.
yeah, it just makes it more special because you've
Yeah.
not just been handed it, you've had to
Yeah.
work hard to get.
Yeah.
So it's nice when you're
Yeah.
rewarded with
Yeah.
with
I think
semi-finals.
yeah, I think it's just because we came so close last time. Had it not been for the nervy start, I think we would have been able to push right to the end and maybe win it. But yeah, it was a feeling that we want to get back. So yeah, we want to get close. We want to try and push for that one again.
No one expected you to even win the semi-final, so yeah, the
Baker
fact
said
that
he'd
we
shave
made
his
it.
head.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
He said he'd do it again as well. I'm not sure how Sid would feel about that, considering their wedding's coming up. So he probably wouldn't be too pleased, but I know he would do it again.
Yeah. Or
Would
maybe
you
he
do
just
it?
let Jarrett take the head shaving and then he can come up with
Yeah,
something else.
yeah,
I think someone said that Jarrett was going to shave his head as well.
yeah. He
Cole
said he'd
said,
join
yeah.
in.
Not
I think.
convinced him to get rid of the beard though.
No, no. I think most of
No.
the boys, if you were to say, look, if we make Coventry, we'll all shave our heads. I think everyone would say, yeah, I'd shave my hair to get there again. So
I'm gonna hold you all to that.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that. I'm saying most of the guys would say that.
What did
Gonna
you
clip
do
that.
last time?
I don't know. I know. Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I did anything.
I know there were some that dyed their hair, some that put night
Yeah,
tips in their hair,
yeah.
and
I know. Ethan dyed his hair, and um, yeah, there was some crazy haircuts. Obviously, Coops with no hair, but yeah, I didn't do anything.
Too chill for that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm too relaxed, so
but you couldn't be the only one not to shave your head if
I
everyone's shaving.
I don't think everyone would shave their head, but I think there'd be a lot.
Trying to backtrack out of that one. Because you're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, I can't do that.
That's funny.
Um, how do you handle the pressure in those memorable moments, like when we was in the cup final last
Mm,
season or Coventry? How do you handle the pressure of that?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's funny because a lot of people, like for the cup final last year, it was surprisingly I wasn't as nervous. Whether that was just because it was like we were playing in our own rink and it felt more, it was a big game, but it felt like you were playing. Whereas if you go to Coventry, you're playing in, it's a big arena. There's lots of fans. It's a hyped up, venue for what it is. I think, definitely when I went to Coventry, it was very much very nervous, and it was. I said to Coops, I said the best way to get into these sorts of situations is in your first shift, get a touch of the puck, make some body contact, get a hit, feel a hit, whatever it is, take a hit or give a hit, whatever it may be, and you just sort of feel like you're getting into the game. I think if you're out there being a bit nervous, like, oh, I don't want to touch the puck. Do I need to go? Do I not? I think you start to second guess yourself too much. But yeah, the best way to get into the game is just to take a hit, give a hit, and feel the puck in the first shift. Whether it's just chipping the puck out your zone and chasing after it gets you into the game. But yeah, I mean, surprisingly, when you get into the heat of it, you're not really thinking about it too much. Um, like in the final at Coventry, it was, we were starting to come back and growing into the game so much that it was get us out there because we feel like we can do this, which was surprising because, and I think the Sunday was a little bit better because the Saturday, obviously, we'd been in the semi-final, we'd done it, we knew we could play on this ice, so it wasn't so bad. But yeah, it's all about you're surprised when you're in the game how you don't really think about it, and then afterwards when you sit down, you're like, blimey, that was, I've just played in the final and we were close, or we just won the semi-final, and you don't really think about it at the time because the adrenaline's going. So yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just there making history.
trying to.
No, you did make history because you helped the team get to Coventry. You was there in the semi-final and the final, same as last season. You was there in both. So you part of history, whether we won or not, you were still there. Still a big thing for the club.
Yeah,
I know you said the love of the game helps keep you motivated and that, but is there anything else that keeps you motivated to improve your game every season?
I think it's just, again, I think that drive to, now we've experienced it. I think it's that drive to try and make it as far as we can and win something. I know there's a lot of guys on our team who have won stuff in the past, and they'll say it is that, it is the drive to want to win. I don't think anyone who plays sports really, they do it for the love of the game, but they're there to win. But if you're not there to win, then it's you probably shouldn't be at this level. So I think we all want to win in some way. But yeah, it is at some points. It is being with the guys, and it's those wins that you do not expected. Like those semi-finals, like these big games that you don't think that people are writing you off, that you're there, and it's you guys that you're the ones that are going to prove everyone wrong. Yeah, just making sure that you're working hard every day and things like that you make you want to be better. Um, when we get to these moments, you want to be able to perform. So every time we get on the ice, you just want to be better. I think that's just generally sports person.
Yeah, definitely. Would you like to see Romford grow in terms of having a female team within the
I
club?
think that would be great. Obviously, having my sister who plays, I think that would be great. I think I think there need to be more women teams in general, not just generally in Romford. Obviously, that would be great. But yeah, they need to work just to help with the governing body. They just need to grow the sport. It's very obviously Abby and Eddie went on the radio the other day, and hopefully that's going to help spread it a little bit further. But yeah, growing the game is a big thing, and they need to get women's hockey up and running a little bit better. Um,
Absolutely, definitely.
they need some more opportunities because being a brother of Abby, she's very limited in where she can go and what she can do. And I think a lot of the girls feel the same. So yeah, it's just giving them more opportunities to be able to get on the ice. I think it's been pretty similar for us as well. Like growing up, you hear a lot of people, come from America and things are on the ice every day, and we don't get we don't get that option, do we? So
Yeah.
for everyone, it's just making it more available and giving more ice to teams.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, definitely. They're going to try and well, they're working on hoping to get more ice time in the
Mm,
juniors
yeah,
for there to be female teams within the juniors as well.
yeah,
So
yeah,
hopefully it helps
yeah,
bring those girls through the system. There are some girls in the system already that are pretty good, and we have a couple from Chelmsford
yeah,
because they have a
yeah,
girls' junior team. There's a couple of them
yeah,
that come over to Romford as well and play the mixed at Romford rather than at Chelmsford, which is quite
yeah,
nice.
yeah,
So hopefully we can get them fully
yeah.
over at Romford
Mm.
in the next couple
Yeah,
of seasons.
it's difficult because um, it's being able to fill teams as well as and sometimes you just don't have the numbers. I know Chelmsford's got a great setup, but yeah, it is very difficult. I think if you can have, more availability and more marketing around it to help bring young kids into it, then you're going to obviously stand a bit more of a chance. But yeah, it is very difficult, and I don't envy the job of doing that. But it is a hard one to complete, but we do need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ice time is the biggest issue.
Yeah,
There's not enough
yeah,
ice time to go
mm,
round.
no,
That is that is the biggest issue. They seem to be having, they want to increase the amount of teams within the junior system as well.
mm,
They want to have an A
yeah,
and a B per each age group. So yeah, it's going to be tough, but
mm,
they're trying to get
yeah,
Romford back on the map in terms of the juniors to help
yeah, yeah.
the
It,
flow
it,
and the
it
pathway.
yeah, it's a shame, right? Because it was, before the REIT did close down, we did have a really, really good junior setup. You can see by a lot of the guys who have come through that and who are now playing at a high level, that it's down to that good junior setup. And it was when the rink closed that, unfortunately, that we disbanded and had to go our separate ways. Or in our case, we went to Chelmsford because it was the closest rink. Um, and you say that the ice just wasn't there because there isn't that many ice rinks within a proximity to us down here. So yeah, it's just making it a bit more available.
How much does the passion from the Romford fans mean to you when you're on the ice, off the ice?
It's huge. When you hear them chanting in the stands, it really does give you a push. I know a lot of people say that. We always say that, it's like being the extra man. But when you're out there and you hear them, chanting for the team that you're playing on, it's, you want to push that extra little 5-10% that you can. You want to push to succeed to help the team get across the line. And it's always been that way. When I used to go and watch it, it was a very hostile environment at Romford, very hostile. And that's what the team thrives on. It's what home teams generally do thrive on in this sport. Making sure that the other team are not having an inch. So yeah, it's huge.
If you wasn't playing hockey, what would you be doing?
Playing golf.
Playing golf.
Yeah.
Stanley, we are sorry, we tried. Stanley's looking for a tennis partner to go and play against the Osborne twins.
Oh,
He said he
I
just needs
uh,
one
I have
person.
I haven't played tennis in a long time. I played it in school quite a lot, but I haven't played it in a while. Um, yeah, I'd be playing golf.
You're a golf man.
Yeah, very much so.
That's a lot of hockey players' other sport choice. And
Mhm.
they're
Yeah,
so like many worlds apart.
yeah, yeah. I think it's one of the ones where once you pick it up, you can't put it down. Very similar to hockey. Um, yeah, so it's just yeah. I mean, I started playing 5-6 years ago now. Me and Ollie Baldock went and played. We've just never stopped playing. So yeah, golf that would definitely be the sport I'd be playing right now.
Love that.
You've ever played with Erin?
I haven't. I play only at the Raiders golf day. We keep saying we need to go out and play, but it's very difficult. We're all so busy. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure you'll find the time over the summer
yeah, we'll get out.
in the
We'll
off
get out and play.
season. I'm sure she'll be hilarious to go and play with.
Yeah,
She had us in fits of laughter for 2 hours filming her episode.
I
Yeah.
bet. I bet.
uh, if you had one piece of advice to give to current academy players, what would it be?
Enjoy what you're doing. Just enjoy it. I think I look back now on some of the years that we had at juniors, and they were the most fun I've had playing hockey. And you don't realise it till it's over, but it quickly becomes a lot more serious. So just enjoy the time in the juniors while you can. obviously take in as much as you can and get on the ice every opportunity you get, but make sure you're enjoying it.
That is a good piece of advice.
I'm
Something
taking
they
all these
often
little
forget.
bits to make a video, and I'm going to send it to the academy. So
Hopefully it helps.
It
exactly.
definitely will. I've said to them all, even if you don't watch the whole thing, just watch the last 5 minutes, because that's
Hmm.
when we ask the question
Yeah.
of to everyone to give the advice, and I think it's so valuable to for them
Mm.
to hear and see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
just, I think it's too easy to get caught up in, in it all of, we need to do this, we need to do that. It can become more of a regiment. I think if you can just enjoy what you're doing, then it's going to be more beneficial for you. You know, don't turn down the ice time and just make sure you're enjoying yourself is the main two things you can do.
yeah, no, definitely. If you have one message to the Romford fans, what would it be?
Don't stop chanting. Keep coming to the games and supporting us, and we'll do our best.
Love that. That is the end of all of the questions.
Not
Thank
too
you.
bad. Was it okay?
Yeah.
There
Can't say that I've
was
done one before, so I didn't know how it was going to go.
Oh, we go first.
I'll take it. That's good.
It was
we're,
good. It was good.
we're glad to be your first.
How have you
First one
found it? Have
has
you found that you've improved more over the last few?
we've
Absolutely.
become more confident.
Yeah, yeah.
The first few we was very, very nervous, and it didn't
Mm.
help that the first few were the young ones.
Yeah, yeah,
That didn't help,
Yeah, we
but
had.
yeah. The more you do it as well, the more you'll get into a flow of question to question, being able to link things together and just flowing it a little better.
Yeah.
This one's obviously for me, it sounds like it's gone a lot better than the first couple. I think it's flowed a little bit better, so you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
we try. We
That's all right.
try.
We'll be even
Yeah,
better next season.
yeah, exactly. You're only going to get better.
Definitely.
Thank
Just
you
before
very
you
much.
go, do you
Yeah,
have any questions for Sean Easton?
Yeah.
no questions. Just a thank you for coming back and putting his time into this club again. Um, it is difficult what he came and took on. So, not any questions, just a thank you.
We'll be sure to pass that over tomorrow.
Yeah, we got him tomorrow.
Oh, what time have you got him on?
It's about 8 o'clock, I think, by the time he gets home.
Yeah, yeah. No, that'd be good. That'd be good.
I'm scared.
No, he's fine. No need to be scared about anything.
He's another one that cancelled, actually. We was meant to do him last Tuesday, and he forgot that you had a game on Wednesday.
Yeah,
The days that he said to me that he could do was last Tuesday and last Wednesday. He
and
actually
then
put last Wednesday forward as one of the
that
days.
would have been tough if he stood at the back of the bench on a call with you guys.
Oh, hang
Yeah.
on. 1 minute. We just got a penalty.
Yeah.
Oh,
That would have been very funny.
But yeah.
Wow. Thank you again.
yeah.
No problem. Thank you guys
I've
for
had
doing
fun.
this because it's a good thing if the fans keep engaged. It gives them a little more of an insight as well. So it's really good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys as
That's what
well.
we wanted.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Yeah.
for joining us.
No worries.
Have a good rest of your evening.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you guys, and I'll see you at the weekend.
Absolutely.
Weekend.
See you later.
Bye.
See you
Bye bye.
later.
Bye.